Welcome. Today we're going to be discussing the technique captured leaves, its execution, some things you should know about its execution, and some things to compensate for problems that may arise. So the first thing you should recognize about this technique is it's very similar to entangled wing. The only difference is it's at a longer degree from your body. So if you notice, entangled wing hits both the elbow and the shoulder, depending upon which emphasis you put on it. This one does it to the fingers, but they're both doing joint manipulations. Okay? Next thing you should notice about this is it's not designed for a low lock like that. It's designed more for an upper lock, just like entangled wing. So you would say, how do I get into that? We may be fighting, or I may be telling the guy, I don't want to do any harm or problems here, and he does that to you. Now, the next thing that you should be aware of is that you cannot allow this person to just apply the lock. Once they get the lock fully engaged, you're done for. You have to do something else. So what you need to do is catch them while they're in the act of doing it. A lot of our attacks that are based upon these locks and grabs work on that principle. You can't wait until they're completely executed and applied. You need to make sure that you're doing your execution while they're applying it, and therefore you can counter what they're doing. So keep that in mind. So in this case, what's happening is they're trying to get me to do this, so that they're trying to keep my elbow extended by applying the lock against my major joint here on my knuckles. Okay, not the second and third knuckles, the first knuckle. That's where it's primarily going against. So what you want to do here is, as they're trying to apply that, is counter it by shooting your elbow against their elbow. So what does that do? What they're going to have to do is get some form of rotation in here. So what you're doing is a depth cancellation by pushing against them. And then what you want to do at this point is make sure that you keep your left hand up to counter anything that might be coming from the right. The one thing that you don't want to do is put your hand on top of their hand to try to get the quote-unquote upper hand. In this case, the upper hand is not necessary because of the fact you want to make sure that your left side of your body is covered against the right. So if you look at it from this side, I want to do this, match it this way. So I keep myself covered from anything that's coming to the right, because we haven't done anything to that. And we really haven't done anything to hurt this person yet. Okay? So once we've done that, the next thing that you want to try and do here is rotate and shoot this back. Okay? Another thing that you can do to help alleviate this is turn it slightly a little bit too, so that the application is going up and down, or side to side on your hand, up and down for them, and not up and down for both you and them. That will help a little bit alleviate that pressure also. So once we get to here, we do this turn. We keep our elbow anchored. We don't want this up like this, because then they're going to be able to pull it. So what we want to do is keep it low and shoot this back. Let's spin back one more time this way so you can see that side. So we get here. We do not want to do an orbit. Okay? What we want to do is shoot the reverse bow and hit straight back. Okay? So as this hand comes in, they work together, push-pull. So notice what's happening here. Then I shoot this hand up. Again, I do not want to unanchor my elbow, because that's going to happen. What I want to do is keep this elbow anchored, potentially pull it a little bit, and put a lock on his arm. So if you notice, that's what I want. See what's happening to his stance? That's what I want to happen. So I don't want to try and pull this too far, because then they can take advantage of me. So I want their elbow directly on my shoulder, so that when I apply pressure, it's putting pressure onto their elbow. Then what I want to do is I'm going to turn back into our horse and deliver this outward elbow. So let's turn this back again. So from here, I get this anchored, turn back in. Things that can go wrong here is I don't turn back and I just try and shoot this. Second thing is I over-rotate and I'm trying to get into a neutral bow, again losing the alignment, also creating a gap here, which we'll discuss in just a second. So what I want to do is go on and elbow directly in. So notice I'm doing a push-pull. That's what I want to take advantage of. I want to do opposing forces here. So I want to pull him into this elbow. But the problem that can happen here is I create a gap. And that is a problem because I'm creating a gap which he can then use against me. So what I want to try and do here is create frictional pull and friction against my body at the same time, taking advantage of this open-ended triangle here. So once we go from this lock, we turn and shoot straight back in, just like we did the previous one. We don't want a circular motion. We want a straight motion, so two straights rather than two circles. We do those in other techniques like twirling wings, where we have actual twirlings. These are linears, okay? So we push, pull, hit, cross out and cover. Okay? One more time with a quick explanation. This is for a high. We want to get it while it's in progress. Elbow to elbow, cancel out their depth a little bit. Turn to that reverse bow so that we can leave if we need to. Shoot this straight back, not into a circle. Counter grab, keep the pressure, push pull against your body as you deliver the last elbow, and then cross out and cover. One thing to keep in mind with both of these elbows is that we need compact units. You don't want your arms unbent. You want them as close as you can get to being compact. Okay? So the more compact, the more power you're going to be able to deliver against them. So one more time, without any explanation. Hope this video helps you. Thank you very much.